The reason why you can't change is because your thinking is stopping you. When people are passive aggressive, or they give you fake compliments, or they give you the silent treatment, typically that's fueled out of jealousy. Switch have to with get to. It's a little word reversal that changes everything.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 and 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 and 9. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch your top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to hang out with positive people, change your thinking, and stop feeling guilty with Mel Robbins and my take on her top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Hang out with positive people.
The most important thing, hang out with people that cheer for you. This is so important. I can't say this enough. Behavior is contagious. They have proven this. Google the Framingham study. It was a really famous heart study that was done where they looked at human behavior over what's called a longitudinal study, which basically means they studied people for a number of years. And they found that you catch the behavior of other people. If you hang out with smokers over time, your objection to smoking lowers because you're hanging out with smokers and you become socialized to it, and you are more likely to smoke. If you hang out with happier people, if you hang out with people that are more successful than you, if you hang out with people that run all the time, guess what happens? You become socialized to those positive behaviors. The fastest way to make a behavior change is to hang out with people that are positive, that are cheering for you, that are up to cool stuff, that are so busy and engaged in their life, they don't have time for passive aggressive bullshit because they're busy building something and being appreciative. And that's who you should hang out with.
Rule number 2, go back to the basics.
What do you do when you feel overwhelmed? Because your home life, your work life, your side hustle, trying to take care of yourself, you can't find the time. What I always do is I always come back to the basics. When you tip into overwhelm, go back to the basics. Start with a morning routine. I know the second that I am in overwhelm, which I am right now, I have lost the discipline of having a consistent morning routine. I still wake up without my phone. I still don't look at my phone, but I haven't taken those 30 minutes every morning for myself to plan my day. So I have been waking up, I don't look at my phone, but I go straight for the coffee. I think about what I need to do, and since every single day this week it's been a speech or a massive meeting, that's taken precedence, but I have not put in the discipline that I talk about all the time of just taking 30 minutes to plan what's important to me.
Rule number 3, switch I have to with I get to.
You know when you start to say, I have to finish the newsletter. I have to work on my book. I have to do that thing that I need to do. I have to pick up my kids. I have to talk to. Switch have to with get to. It's a little word reversal that changes everything. I get to work on the newsletter this morning, and I get to write something that almost 400,000 people are going to read. I get to work on a book manuscript today as we fly to Orlando. I get to pick up my kids tomorrow when I land. I get to start to say I get to, because that switch of going I have to, which adds weight and burden, switching it to I get to makes it a privilege. It makes you be grateful about what you get to do, because honestly, it is a privilege, whatever it is that you're doing. And when you come from that place and you think this, I get to, not that, I have to, you will bring power to what you get to do.
Rule number 4, distance yourself from jealous people.
When people are passive aggressive, or they give you fake compliments, or they give you the silent treatment, typically that's fueled out of jealousy. And jealousy is nothing more than an emotion that people feel when you have something that they feel they deserve. And a lot of us feel jealousy because it's easier to be jealous of somebody and to stay in a negative state than it is to push yourself to do the work to get the thing that you want. And so it's almost like it's your unrealized dream showing up in your face. And what's also right in your face is the fact that somebody else worked for it and you haven't yet. And so instead of going, oh, note to self, time to start cheering for myself and use that example as something positive to motivate myself, a lot of people tend to be like, I hate you. I hate you because you have what I have. So here's what you're going to do when you deal with people that are passive aggressive or jealous. First of all, don't get triggered by it. That's their stuff. It's not your stuff. Second, you're doing the right thing. If people ask, share what worked for you. Third, distance yourself. You don't need to hang out with these people. If you're making positive changes in your life, hang out with the people that are cheering for you. Just because you've known people for years doesn't mean you have to hang out with them for the years to come. So distance yourself. And fourth, if it's really passive aggressive, say something.
Also, if you want to have more confidence and motivation, check out my 254 series. They're free. The link to join are in the description below.
You might want to get honest with yourself. Like, instead of doing this, I want to be a millionaire, I want to do this. Do you really? Because you can make it happen. You actually can. Look at all the idiots that are making money. You can make money. If you didn't give a shit what anybody else thought, what's the thing you would love to be doing with your life? Our minds are designed to stop you at all costs from doing anything that might hurt you.
Rule number 5, change your thinking.
The reason why your life isn't changing is because your thinking isn't changing. If you wake up every morning and the first thought in your head is making yourself wrong, why can't I just get out of bed? Why can't I just go exercise? Why can't I eat healthy? The reason why you can't change is because your thinking is stopping you.
Rule number 6, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Feel the fear and do it anyway, that famous quote. I want to tell you a little bit about the science. So there's this famous neuroscientist called Antonio Damasio, and he did a really interesting study where he discovered that our body senses fear before our mind even realizes it. And when fear or danger, speaking to your boss, calling a prospect, going to the gym when you're not proud of the way that you look, and it's not fear like terror, it's more that low-grade agitation in your body. I felt it yesterday because I went to a boot camp class yesterday and I'm not in good shape and I don't do boot camp classes, and Kendall and I are staying at this hotel where, holy cow, everybody seems like there's some sort of professional weightlifter or Instagram model, and so it was really intimidating and I could feel that agitation in my body. That's the kind of fear I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the paralysis fear your life is threatened and you really are in a life or death situation. I'm talking about the low-grade agitation that is there when you're about to do something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So when fear or danger is sensed in the body, your body begins a stress response before your mind even catches up. And if you want to take control of your life, you got to take control of that physical state. And it starts with catching these moments, everyone, when you start to feel it.
Rule number 7, stop feeling guilty.
For those of you that feel very overwhelmed because of home, work, side hustle, and you're a woman, you probably also feel guilty about taking time to work on your side hustle. That's because women, girls, we are raised to be good girls, we're raised to be good daughters, we're raised to be seen and not heard, we're raised to take care of people. It's socialized into you. And you see your mothers, by the way, also sacrifice everything to take care of everybody else and to put themselves last. This is a learned behavior. So if you also are a woman, you probably feel guilty for taking time for yourself. Stop that. You have to stop that. The reason why you have to stop that is, first of all, if you're a mom, you've got to show your daughters and your sons what it looks like to pursue your dreams. Secondly, as a woman, you're not going to get what you want if you're constantly putting guilt on yourself for taking time for yourself. And third, the only way you will discover the power and potential inside of you is if you push that generational bullshit to the side and you actually realize that your life is for you. That your mom, you know why she sacrificed everything she did? Because she wanted you to pursue your dreams. So knock it off with the guilt, because the guilt is also contributing to the overwhelm. The guilt is making you not talk to your partner or your boss or your colleagues or your friends about what you need for support. The guilt is adding weight to you not being able to carve out the time and be disciplined to find the time for yourself. And so it has got to go. You hear me? Get rid of it.
Rule number 8, change your story.
Isn't it interesting that age is something that measures the amount of time that's gone by, but don't you have a lot of baggage about your age? You're either too young or you're too old or too much time has passed or you blew it and you wasted your 30s or now that you're 40 or this or you're only 20. I mean, it's insane how much baggage we all have about our age. And so I'm writing about how to remove that story and how to recognize that whatever time has passed is past, whether it's a teeny amount of time because you're just a high school student or it's a lot of amount of time because you're 60 years old, and to understand that life is an inside game and it's all about your mindset and it's all about what you do with the time that you have right now. You can launch anything, you can begin anything, period, as long as you are willing to do the work for it.
Rule number 9, beat your anxiety.
If you're somebody that suffers from anxiety, first of all, here's what you need to know. It's not a disease. Period. It's not a disease. Here's what you need to understand. Anxiety always begins with a worry. Always. It begins with a thought that is triggered by something. So if you suffer from anxiety, you wake up in the morning and your mind spins. You lay in bed at night and your mind spins. You walk into work and you feel anxious in your body. I want you to write down all the things that trigger you to feel anxious. Interestingly, another major trigger is being home or going home and that moment right before your partner walks in the door. If you feel anxious when your partner's about to walk in or you're about to walk into your own home, that is a major signal that you're in the wrong relationship, that there is something incredibly off and you either need to get into counseling, but that is one that we hear a lot about.
Wow.
Because you're walking into a situation that feels uncertain.
Yeah.
A lot of people, by the way, had parents that were abusive or parents that were yellers. So they also are experiencing ghosts from the childhood of it's 5 o'clock, dad's about to come home and pour a drink and everybody's on edge.
Yeah.
So write down the triggers, okay? Because having kind of the triggers ahead of time will help you come up with a plan for how you're going to catch yourself when your mind defaults to the automatic ways that it thinks. Then what I want you to write down next to the trigger is what exactly are you worried about? So having the trigger and then the what do I worry about? I worry that my boss is going to yell. I worry that my partner's going to yell. I worry that I'm going to get in trouble. I worry that my friends are going to laugh at me. I worry that I'm going to be whatever the f*** it may be. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write down what I call an anchor thought. An anchor thought is something that weighs you down and it makes you excited. And so here's how the strategy works with the 5-second rule. The next time you're in a situation, and let's just use the example of pulling into your own driveway or your own apartment, and maybe you've got issues with your boyfriend or girlfriend or your roommate, and that makes you unsettled. The second you pull in and you feel the trigger, you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because I want to interrupt your mind from going into the kind of like, what if I do this? And then you're going to drop in the anchor thought of the last time that you and your roommate really got along well, or the last time that you stood up for yourself and it went fine. And
or your puppy.
Yeah, or a puppy or whatever. And you're going to say, I'm so excited to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get out of your car, even though your body is going to feel a little unsettled and your mind's going to race. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you start to be like, but what? And then walk in the door. And what I'm teaching you to do is to not let your mind hijack you.
Right.
And it's very important because there's a very tight nexus between your habit of worrying and spiraling your thoughts and the way your body starts to amp up. And so we want to settle your mind so we don't agitate your body. You got it?
Yeah.
And so if you start to practice that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and for you 18-year-olds that are watching this, use this with the nerves that you have about what you're going to do with your life. Use this when you catch yourself worrying about college applications, because worrying about the applications won't get them done. Worrying about what your friends are doing won't make it happen. Worrying about what you're going to be doing when you're 25 or how you're going to make money, it's not going to help you make money right now. It's only going to make you miserable.
Right.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cut off that habit.
Yeah.
That'll stabilize your body, and then go to a vision of you at the age of 25, driving a car that you think is cool and hanging out with a friend that's cool and saying to yourself, I'm so excited because I know I'm going to figure it out. Because you don't need to worry about that shit right now.
Yeah.
But it becomes a habit that destroys your year this year.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is put the fun back in dysfunctional.
So the holidays are upon us, and I wanted to share my 3 rules around the holidays to make sure that even if you have a very dysfunctional family, you can focus on the fun in dysfunctional, okay? So here are my 3 rules. And they're all like the 3 Ps of the holidays, okay? So you can think about holiday dinner, you don't like to eat your peas. These are the Ps that you want to focus on. You ready? Number 1, no politics. Seriously, do not utter anything about anything related to politics. We live in a crazy, polarized, whacked out time right now when it comes to politics. There is no safe topic, even if everybody voted for the same people. Do not discuss it. That's rule number 1, no politics. The second P, leave the past in the past. Do not dance into Thanksgiving dinner or any holiday that you're celebrating during this long season and expect it to be the moment in time that you're going to resolve everything that's happened to you in your past. That belongs in a therapy session or during a long walk in the woods when you're actually focused on healing in the past. For now, you just want to get along with everybody. You want to have a fun time. You don't want to make this too heavy, and you do not want to be the one bringing the drama to the table. Leave that to one of your uncles or your aunts, okay? And number 3, pretend you care, okay? No politics. Don't heal the past. Pretend you care. It's not that difficult. You don't have to love everybody. You don't have to like everybody. But show up and actually demonstrate behavior that makes people feel as if you care. What does that mean? It means ask a lot of questions. Listen. Follow up with more questions. And you know the great thing about asking lots of questions of the folks that are there at the holidays with you? Number 1, it takes the focus off of you. So if you're worried about talking about where you are or you aren't in your life, ask a lot of questions. You won't be talking about yourself at all. And number 2, when other people are talking, they think you're very interesting. That's true. The secret to human beings is be interested, because when you're interested in everybody else, suddenly you're the most interesting person in the room while they're talking.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Mel on how to understand body signals that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. Where do you need to stop feeling guilty? Number 2, where do you need to feel the fear and do it anyway? And number 3, who are the jealous people that you need to distance yourself from? And if you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
Part of the self-awareness and self-mastery and the ability to move your life forward is not only in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, finding the instant motivation and courage to push yourself forward, but the true liberation and freedom is going to come when you start to understand the body signals that got programmed a long time ago in your body that are holding you back, and learning how in those moments when you get a pit in your stomach to recognize it and slow the body sensations down and then move forward before your mind starts talking you out of it. So a lot of what happens for us is you had situations when you were a kid, maybe your mom or your dad were really intense. Maybe you grew up in a very competitive household. Maybe you were the kind of kid that things were better in your house when you were seen but not heard. And so and your body remembers it. Your body remembers situations when your parents were yelling, because as a kid, it feels traumatic. Your body remembers situations where in a classroom you were nervous or afraid to be called out or be seen. Your body remembers moments when you were embarrassed. And so what's interesting is that your body will now face any situation where you're about to be seen, or you're about to speak up, or you're about to do something where you're facing uncertainty, or you're about to face judgment. And your body remembers those situations, and it starts to get nervous or agitated or on edge because it knows, oh my God, you're about to do something that's going to expose you, and your body wants to keep you safe. That's why your stomach starts to go grumbly. That's why your chest starts to get tight, because you are about to do something that exposes you. You're about to do something that is new. You're about to do something that is scary, and your body wants to try to protect you. Now, your body's misreading the situation, by the way.
If you want 10 more rules from Mel, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Our minds are designed to stop you at all costs from doing anything that might hurt you. If you notice that you daydream about being a writer,